Soul Garden. Live, love, be.
Good morning from my smartphone to yours. I'm casting love from the Serious Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California. And this is your Monday, Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Christopher Witecki. My modality is psychic astrology, and my mission is to stand in my heart and help other people stand into theirs. Thanks for logging in. This webisode is for Monday, January 11th, 2016, and today the Great Human Walk has advanced to step 20, Capricorn. Actually, today will be a two-part day, and we're in the part of the year, or a part of the Earth's orbit, where the Earth actually speeds up. And I think only astrology and astrologers really notice this fact, but the Earth actually speeds up and slows down. And so this is one of the fastest times of the year, where time is flying by, even though it appears to be slow, I think, in the winter months. And we literally are going through more of our spiritual story in a shorter period of time. So today is a two-part day. We will wake up to step 20, but then we will shift into step 21 when it starts to get fun later in the day. And for those who are watched over my personal Sensei network, you will get a personal alert when that shift happens. That's funny. I didn't really mean to make that a joke, but you know what I'm saying. So without further ado, let's move on today to today's vibe. Today's vibe is sunny and super clear. I think that if you are protecting your feelings and you're in touch with how you feel and you have a safeguard for them, you're going to feel strong and you're going to feel really clear today. Our mind is, of course, retrograde. Mercury is metrograde, as I like to say, and Mercury has now retrograded to step 27, Capricorn. That means we are rethinking the actions we want to take in our future control, because that's 27. The sun is actually at step 20. So we're rethinking about how we want to change our actions later, but we're not there yet. So it's a scissor effect, so to speak, of our thinking. Now, Venus has reached the Grand Master step of 15 Sagittarius, so we are receiving the dream today. I would imagine that a lot of people are kind of sustaining their day by literally in a utopia fantasy. This is where you're kind of like maybe on your way to work on a Monday. It's beautiful. You have high hopes. You've made commitments. Nothing's gone wrong yet. Right? And I think you kind of feel that. And so today we're receiving the dream, we're receiving that utopia kind of vision. And our feelings are actually crisp and detached. The moon is in Aquarius, and so we're kind of detached from our feelings. We're not they're not too sensitive, even though they're present. And that's really almost perfect. It's like you get a taste, but it doesn't overwhelm you. That's and for Aquarius moons, they kind of live that whole life. Now, our ego today is at a breakthrough moment. Mars is at step 4 Scorpio. That means I am the breakthrough. I am the solution. I am what I've been looking for. So there's a real sense of strength and determination and fortitude underneath the day. And I'm happy to announce that over the week's end, Saturn reached the Grand Master Sagittarian step of step 12. So Saturn is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the number 12, if you don't know, which adds to a 3. That is the number of opening new doors, and that means that today, as we're going down this crisp road in this Mercury retrograde, we are feeling a new bridge, a new horizon, a new possibility on our horizon in our life. So I think it's a very optimistic and clear and positive day. So today's joy quest, should you choose to accept it, is to be mindful and protect your feelings. Just be mindful and protect them. Because if you stay mindful and protect how you feel, you'll be open for when step 21 hits, and when of course, it starts to get fun. So without further ado, let's guide you on your way with today's topic. Hello, Bella. Okay, so today's topic is facing our new control, or what I like to say, facing Moby Dick. And I say that because of the whole legend of Capricorn. I always call Capricorn our captains of the ship. And there's this false legend that captains go down with their ship. That's not true, actually, as I've been reading naval or studying naval warfare of history and stuff. They actually got the captain off first, as it turns out, in at least in warfare, because that captain's very valuable. But this idea of the nervous captain, I think that as we move forward here in Capricorn, if you really have made a commitment to a new mountain, to stand on top of a new mountain of decision, on top of a new mountain of power, you're likely going to feel extremely uneasy on that new mountain. You're going to feel, or maybe worry, that this new ship is going to go down. That's natural, by the way, when you're shifting power. When you shift power to a new situation, you have to acknowledge that you're going to feel weird in the transition. And a lot of captains don't really handle their emotions well. That's why I think captains have this cliche of being alcoholics, right? Because the only way to settle their nerves about their whole ship going up and down all the time, and they don't know the storm, and oh God, and are we lost, is they settle their nerves, they drink. They're alcoholics. Of course, we can't live that way. But what it points to is that when you are trying to stay in control of your ship and keep it navigated at sea, the real key to staying in your power is facing your worst fears and facing your emotions, facing that great whale, facing that Moby Dick. You have to face that fear, and you have to have a plan for that fear before you encounter whatever that whale is. And if you are actually on a new ship and it has new powers, or you are going down a new path where you know it's the right path, but you're still brand new at it, then I think you have to take even more consideration into your emotional needs and baby yourself in that transition. That will keep you as a stoic captain of your ship and keep you on the right path and not get you to oversteer or go off course. So keeping my show on course, let's ask the 5 o'clock question. And it's a 5 o'clock question because I give you till 5 o'clock to answer this in your mind. Have you ever ruined something in your life because you were afraid of ruining it? Have you ever ruined something in your life because you were afraid of ruining it? And the follow-up, why couldn't you just let it be? All right? So I don't know. There's so many examples in my head. You don't want to know the case. I am a control freak. I can think of a relationship right now with a girl in high school who I just was so worried that I was going to ruin it. I ruined it. As a Virgo says, I fixed it until it was broke. And why was that? Why do we ruin things and over control them? And I think that's going to be what may happen here. This all came because I was driving down the street recently and I realized I'm having a hard time adjusting to my new power. I'm having a hard time accepting that my life is okay. I'm having a hard time accepting that the ship isn't sinking for once in my life. And it's creating anxiety. It's because I'm expecting some Moby Dick to pop up anytime, but that's not even part of my new story, so it doesn't make sense. And I realized, this is the classic, battle between Capricorn and Cancer, where every time you have a shift in power, you have to have a shift of emotion. Your emotions have to support the power. And if you just jump into the power and you don't do any work to support the emotion of the new power, you're going to feel like your ship is sinking. And I realize that emotion is important. So why couldn't you just let it be, Christopher? Why did you have to ruin that relationship? Well, the answer is I was really shitty at managing my feelings, especially back then. That was high school I'm thinking about. And I was just so bad at managing my feelings. I just lived in anxiety. I abandoned myself, let myself sit there and worry for days and days. I was a cruel babysitter. And so I was constantly trying to ensure that nothing would go wrong instead of ensuring in myself that nothing was wrong. And that is really, I think, the difference in power. I think countries like North Korea are not in touch with their emotions. I think countries like the United States, Cancer, is not really in touch with its emotions. Budweiser, woo woo, let's just go drink it some more away, America, and the pharmaceuticals and whatever. So if you want to be a step ahead on your personal power, get a step ahead on your emotional foundation. You will be stoic, you will be strong, and everyone will come to you as leader because everyone else will not have faced their emotional issues. It will make you seem like the obvious choice. So today, step 20 rules the day. And today, the secret is being in touch with your feelings and being in touch with what they need. If you can do that, you'll be ready for step 21, where it starts to get fun. All right, my friend, let's now move on to our 3 breaths and our Zenden. And welcome to the Zenden. If you have a minute, folks, I encourage you to take 3 breaths with me. And when I do this, just so you know, I actually listen to my guides and what they have to say. And you might do the same. You might just observe what comes to your mind when you allow anything to just come to you. So let's give it a try, and then we'll do our affirmation. Usually on the 3rd, there'll be a real release. I don't know about you, but I feel a real release on the 3rd. So today's affirmation is, I accept how I feel today, and I protect peaceful resolution. I accept how I feel, and I protect peaceful resolution. It doesn't matter how I feel, it's going to be okay. And that's because I'm going to already protect that I make it okay. I'm going to already say, if it's not okay, we'll make it okay. So therefore, we have soul assurance here. All right, so one last time. I accept how I feel, and I protect peaceful resolution. And so it is, because I said so, I thought so. So, looking at our overhead projector, let's take a look at the planets today and what's going on for this week ahead. For starters, I'm putting my charts out at 11:21 when it starts to get fun in a given day. And at that moment, look at that, the sun actually turns 21 degrees right around step 21. That's just crazy, isn't it? That's why I love step astrology. And so that means that this is Pacific time I'm in currently. So that means that there'll be a shift, a real shift. This is the 2-part day I was talking about, where if you've protected your feelings and the love, step 1 comes in, that love jolt gets exciting. If you haven't protected your feelings in step 20 and that love comes in, then there can be anxiety, there can be confusion, there can be distraction. I mean, it just, you're not prepared for it. So it's whatever happens, however best you can steer your ship. Now, the moon is in Aquarius, and look at this. Look at this, folks. This is amazing. You're seeing me discover this on camera for the first time, so this is genuine, authentic. The moon, I can't even say it. The moon is at step 13, which is the step of Aquarius, which adds to a 4, which means dimensional shift. So emotions are at dimensional shift at the same moment that the sun actually shifts dimensions. You see how this ballet works? It's just so beautiful. But having the moon in Aquarius means that we can detach. We're on the roller coaster, but we kind of feel like it's virtual, so it's all good. And that's Aquarius. It all is kind of surreal. Our emotions make it feel like it's virtual. And so, it's kind of, whatever the case, whether you're prepared or not prepared, it'll be a little psychedelic, so to speak. Now, Saturn has reached the Grandmaster step of step 12, which adds to a 3, and 3 is Sagittarius. So it's the Grandmaster step. That means that for those who are on the right mountain, for those who are headed to the right path on a new legacy, you are drinking the pure Kool-Aid right now. Now, for people who have not found their Kool-Aid, okay, who don't know what their beliefs are, who are out shopping, which, by the way, is totally okay that you're still out shopping for beliefs. Some of us light walkers have been working on this for a long time. We know what they are. We're ready to rock. We're meant to lead. For those who aren't, hey, shop from us. Take a look. See what you like. Subscribe for the latest religion and see what works for you. But it does mean that because it goes to step 12, people on the outside of different religions or religions see others as radical. So because it hits step 12, you get this real pure feeling of fire. And I know my serious joiners are really starting to feel fired up because we're all synergizing in this new belief. We can create reality. So it's so we're all feeling fired up. I'm sure people on the outside looking in are like, those people are nuts. Y'all need Jesus. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And it's going to keep raising like this. These stakes, as far as extreme religion and philosophy, as Saturn climbs up this Saturn totem pole. a Sagittarius topo. It's about to retrograde though, so we're going to be okay. Now Mars is at step 4. There's that 4 again. There's that 4. Sounds like George Bush there. That means dimensional shift. Where's the dimensional shift? It's in Scorpio, so there'll be a dimensional boundary shift in Scorpio. So truly, we are changing mountains today, and we are feeling it, and we are feeling the dimensional shift. Jupiter is retrograde, along with Mercury retrograde, and it's at step 23, which means it adds to a 5, and that means our mind is now reprocessing, reprocessing what reality will be and what reality will look like. We won't know or get started on that new reality for about 6 months, so just sit down and relax and get yourself some popcorn. And then lastly, I want to bring up Mercury, which I've kind of turned here, is at step 27 retrograde of Capricorn. And this is that scissor effect I was talking about. 27 is what I feel and what I sense. The 2 is what I feel, the 7 is what I sense. So our mind is trying to get our mind around what we're feeling and sensing we will do. That's what it adds to is a 9 there. What we will do later. It's later because it's 27, we're only at 21. So today I think you're going to, if you're in touch with yourself, if you're in touch with all these new changes, and you're in touch with the dimensional shift, I think it's going to be kind of a fun, exciting day, like you just got into Disneyland, and we're going to cross the bridge, and it's about to get fun, and oh gosh, what's around the corner? If you are out of touch, then oh god, the sky's falling, holy shift, I think Trump for president, whatever, like, it's going to get intense, and this is the difference, folks, between people who are aware and unaware, and this is why, by the way, just to plug my personal Sensei service, why I created it, is because if you are aware that something could happen, it will be in your power as to whether it isn't or won't. If you're not aware as to whether something could happen, well then you're going to experience it right off the bat live with no preparation, no thinking, and you'll do your best, right? And that's the difference between awareness and staying asleep. I am all about awareness. I'd rather know the information and make my choices. All right, my friends. Well, good luck to you crossing that bridge. I'm going to be back in 24 hours with more. I'm going out in California here between little rain pours and trying to get little shows in. You can see the sun coming in out of the clouds. But I'll be back in 24 hours. Until then, remember, I love you and live, love, be.